Let's be clear. I do not believe in magic. Magic is a nebulous word that is used to place this hokey, spiritual, whoop-de-woo idea on things that can be grounded mathematically and scientifically in the shape of our reality. What we're talking about on a quantum level is light. This is a light simulation that we're living in, and that can be proven by simply a quick Google search to understand the nature of reality, if you care to do so, because I find that a lot of people don't like to dig any deeper. They just like to accept the very hokey and nebulous ideals that have been thrown around, such as my spirit is this and woo woo woo, and making it mysticism when it actually can be broken down on a light level. This is the nature of reality, okay, or what we think is reality. And this is also a bigger topic in terms of just your idea or understanding about what is possible. Anything is possible when it comes to mathematics, okay? And when you're talking about light and bending light, anything is possible. It's not that you can't create something or see something that is different from the norm of what you typically witness. If light can be bent to create a hologram, then what do you think this is? Okay? It is the exact same mechanics that govern life. It just so happens that an intelligent being took the time to mathematically engineer the realm so there are certain rules that govern the mathematics of this place versus what you can and cannot do. However, those that are in charge and those that understand how this all works are the ones using this type of science to their advantage. And we are stuck calling people witches, warlocks, and all these other mystical names, when in actuality, you get people who are paid professionally to call themselves quantum physicists and move light in a certain direction or understand the mechanics of how to manipulate light. And that's all it is. What you're talking about is quantum physics. We are not talking about any type of woo-woo or mysticism or how people go into a building and believe that there's some guy in the sky with pie by and by. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual mechanics of the earth and how things work. I don't deal in those things. I do not. And if you cannot calculate it, if you can't add it, if you can't prove it, then you can't sit at my table. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it. I commend people who take science and math and they go the lengths of proving things that are factual, rational, and grounded versus you saying, oh, it just so happened to me and I don't know. This is how you stay in fear. This is also how you stay in ignorance, because if you don't think that things are possible, then you scoff at it. Okay? If you don't understand that we live in a light simulation and light can be bent, then you would scoff at it. You have absolutely no idea what the possibilities are because this information is withheld from you because you don't pick up a book or you don't try to look on the deeper levels. And people who are looking on the deeper levels, they're looking at how frequency and all of that stuff plays into our reality. They are demonized for being a deeper thinker. But I'm not here to make things woo-woo or hokey for anyone. I am here to ground things in the facts. And when I went through my spiritual awakening, it was more about what am I looking at here? What is actually happening? I don't care about a hex. I don't care about a curse. How did you do it? Okay. And what are the mechanisms by which you can make these types of things happen to someone? There are rules that govern math and light. And it has absolutely nothing to do with witchcraft. It has nothing to do with these words that we attach to these ideals. And we give them this demonic and evil and nasty vibe. When in actuality, it's all about understanding the rules of light. And there are rules to light. Okay? Just like when you step out in the sun and you decide that you're going to put on some sunscreen. Why? Because that light can burn you, correct? Because it's very hot. That is a rule of light. And what I am teaching on this channel is that the rules of light that govern this realm are the master. Okay? So when we're talking about a reset, we're talking about being able to meet the light energetically where it is. We're not talking about some judgment where someone's going to bust open the sky. No, we're talking about the sun going into an X-class solar flare that's already been documented and spoken about widely via science. So it's not something that you can't Google. This is something that is readily available. And it grinds my gears when people give these very hokey, nebulous mysticism, and even saying the word spiritual aggravates me to no end these days, because the word spirit even means breath. You're talking about speaking. You're just talking about oxygen in your lungs. Spirit does not mean what you think it means. If you want to give it a better word, you'd be better off saying something like light, okay? Because that's all it is. And then people like to talk about demons and, oh, when someone dies, okay, where do you think that energetic frequency goes when someone dies? And you're like, oh, well, they're talking to demons. People are just so hokey, even when they're not trying to be. You can say you're not a Christian and you don't believe in these certain things, but if you're still attributing these particular polarities to energetic frequencies that exist and also being fearful of them, I could care less about a dark energy. Why? Because it's nothing but a negative frequency. It's nothing but a math equation. It's nothing but very light angles. Do I have to deal with it? No, I don't. Do I have to play with it? No, I do not. But understanding it at its core removes the fear, okay? And picking up a book and reading something that educates you on what this means is not evil. And this is what people try to brainwash you into believing, that, oh, if you go and study this book, you're learning about demons and, oh, it can affect you. And honey, none of that is happening at all with you educating yourself. Those are fear tactics to keep you away from understanding the mechanics of the realm. And the people who attempt to keep you away from that type of truth are using it themselves. What do you think? Why do you think the Bible is divided up into numbers? They could have just wrote it out as a story, because they're nothing but stories. They didn't need to be divided up in numbers. You want to know why? It's because numbers are light. They are arcs. They are sigils, okay? They bend the light. This is why you have a square and compass. So when you go into a building and these people are speaking numbers over you, baby, that would be the time that you need to walk out. Okay? And especially if you don't understand how these frequencies and these numbers are affecting you, okay? Or what you're allowing into your space when you go into these spaces. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about that before I present my lecture on the alphabet and how I'm deconstructing that, because it is truly, truly mind-boggling that people would rather accept hokey responses than to actually have some science and something weighted that you can understand and you can actually rationally find the answers to. It really isn't that deep. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this message. Peace, love, and light.